talk about the class clown and what you can do about it. Kind of a weird term when you think about it, the class clown, but you all know what we're talking about. You know, that kid who's always got a funny when they shouldn't be making a funny. The kids who laugh at them, and then you get mad at that kid because they made other kids laugh. Well, there's a responsibility for the kids who laugh too. They have to kind of reel themselves in because they know that they shouldn't probably be laughing at them because that just makes the situation worse. But when we're dealing with what we call that class clown, that funny kid, I just think those kids have some talents, to be honest. And I have to change my perception. I have to deal with it as a disruption versus labeling the class clown. So the real problem here is the disruption. It's the kids' timing. It's what they're saying, when they're saying it, how they're saying it, and how it's disrupting the class. So the conversation is around disruption, not really being the class clown. Because I got to tell you, I've run into a lot of those kids over the years and even went to school with some of those kids. We all did. When you meet those people later, most of the time, they're really great people and they found their way. And when they were kids, this was just their way of communicating. This is their way of, fitting in. We don't know what was going on in their lives. Maybe they felt vulnerable. In my situation, I remember going to school with a friend of mine that I met in second grade. He would have been labeled maybe the class clown, right? But he was also one of the first kids that I ever knew that came from a family that had a divorce. I grew up in a very small town and it just wasn't very common. And so I think back now and I go, you know what? This probably was a coping mechanism, to get through the day, dealing with some things that were stressors at home. Who knows? There's probably always a story behind it, but change your perception. This is a pretty skilled, talented little kid. All right. They just are creating a disruption, and the disruption is more of a concern than the actual clowning. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment.